So you guys might have heard about this situation. Yeet over here posting on Twitter saying, "Baby No Money censored Asmongold in his latest music video featuring OTK." And going on to quote the statement there. Now, for the record, I wasn't familiar with this guy up until just a few weeks ago. When I saw he had like another virtue signal tweet going around, people on Twitter were making fun of him for that. Then I looked into him, I saw that he was some sort of like Corpo music person. To me, comes off like a complete sellout, especially now. But like, yeah, it's how you say that name, I guess. Baby No Money, for those also not familiar with this guy. But yeah, so anyways, this guy, Baby No Money, releases releases this song. And at the very beginning of the song has this disclaimer that says, "At the time of recording, I was unaware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. Additionally, all funds generated by this video will be donated to the PCRF." It's really funny for a lot of reasons, but I especially like how he says like individuals as if it's possibly like multiple people he has censored. But then you watch the video and it seems to only be one person, and that person being Asmongold, who this guy even had in like parts of the video as the like literal king or whatever, like front and center. He was all ready to put Asmongold in that spot. But then like, oh, hey, I got a virtue signal online, actually. I got to censor Asmongold out of this with a Murloc. Baby No Money is apparently so offended by this guy. We got to cater to all the virtue signalers online. That's going to go well. Oh, it's not going well, actually. Oh, most top comments are now mocking Baby No Money. Who could have seen that coming? For example, some of the top comments here reading, "How long before he has to censor everyone in this video? Censoring Asmon only put him on the spot, and now 90% of the top comments in this video are about him or the Streisand effect instead of the actual video. To be honest, I didn't think it was true he censored Asmon like this, but it's real. At least he kept the comment section opened. Yeah, for now. By the way, check this out. The video now also has 52% dislike ratio, 55k likes versus 59k dislikes. More dislikes than likes. Congratulations, buddy. This comment reminds me of what I said at the beginning. Says, "The fact that Asmon isn't even named, just individuals, proves that he lived up to the name Voldemort, he who shall not be named." It's such a like cop out to individuals. Like, he's not only scared to name Asmon, he's scared to just say individual. I mean, let's be real. It was one single individual, not individuals. But he's phrasing it like the most cowardly way possible, which I suppose is fitting for such a cowardly act to begin with. Tectone brought up a number of interesting things about this guy. Apparently, Baby No Money at one point had like Asmongold on his chest or something like that. But like now he's gonna try and virtue signal about him and like disavow him or whatever. So let's just play a little bit of this and get that context.
A little bit of story time. I'm not gonna lie, like I have met up with Baby No Money before. Like, Baby No Money is down to meet up with legit anybody on earth, and like we went out. You know, we got some barbecue at Styles Switch, like maybe like more than a year ago. But I started noticing that he like started distancing himself from like more controversial creators. So I'm just like, you know what? I already know the route that I'm going down. Because the thing is, I've always been controversial as fuck. I've always spoke my mind nonstop. But the thing is, the more
yeah, nowadays, simply speaking your mind is a controversial thing.
that I come into mainstream, people
you can't just speak your mind, guys. You got to have the exact right opinion. You know, that's what you got to do. You can't be authentic,
gonna call
at least to a certain crowd.
me a grifter. But the thing is, none of my views are changing. Now people are just becoming aware of them. And so people understand that I've been shooting it straight since day fucking one. But when I pulled up, oh my God, let me show you guys this shit. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this shit. Like,
is this the
BB No Money, 50% dislikes.
This.
Let me add to that. At the time of
nice. It's gone up since then too.
recording, I was aware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. Can I tell you why this shit is gay as fuck?
Here we go.
Can I tell you why this shit is baby no clout,
Here's
baby
the
no
chest
hoofy?
thing.
Bro, baby no grifter. This is fucking insane. And I'm gonna let you know this right now. I'm still gonna listen to Bro's music because I think he's a great artist.
Tectone's welcome that opinion. I don't think he's great though. I think it's like just Corpo mainstream nonsense.
But I think this shit is so fucking gay. And the reason why that is because, dude, Baby No Money literally went on stage with Asmongold's face painted on his fucking chest.
Bro, I'm face palming right now. Like, that's so pathetic, man. What the frick? he's got his face on his chest, but then he's like scared to have him in the music video because apparently, by the way, that recording happened a few years ago or something. At the very least, I think it was like a year ago, if not a few years ago. And then for some reason, it was only released now. And like the dude is so terrified now. He's like, wait, Asmon's in the video. I gotta censor him.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this baby no backbone shit is insane.
Baby no backbone.
And I know he did this shit to avoid the heat from the woke mob. Well, congratulations. This is what happens when you pander to these people.
It's even funnier because nowadays that mob is like weaker than ever. Like the height of that stuff was, I think in my opinion at least, during like lockdown, during COVID. At like, it was definitely worse back then, like 2020, 2021, even into 2022. But I would say like latter 2022 into 2023 and 2024 up until now, like they've just been losing momentum ever since that time period from what I've seen. So they're like weaker than ever, and this guy's still capitulating to them. He's still terrified of having Asmongold there, man.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna virtue signal and you're gonna moral grandstand and you're gonna appeal to this mob and appeal to this mob and appeal to this mob. And the moment that you slip up one time, the moment that you slip up one fucking time, the same mob that you're pandering to is going to fucking consume you. And you wanna know why he did this? It's because of this.
Oh. I saw this already. Oh, oh my gosh. I hope I've been blocking Tectone the whole time. Hope I haven't, if I said that wrong. I don't know, I'm on low sleep today, guys, and a lot of coffee, so I might be messing my words up a little bit. But there you go. There's Techie. That is so funny. Friggin', when was this Hassan collab?
How is brother gonna say that I don't like this guy's political views and then hang out with the most radicalized streamer on the entire fucking platform?
Well, it goes back to what I said a minute ago. Is you got to have the right opinion. You got to only have the same hive mind. You know, that's acceptable.
Look what every single frame of a Murloc is them censoring out our boy Asmongold's fucking face out of this music video.
No backbone
These people in mass,
spineless
content creators,
coward,
community alike, they just want to control you. They want you to think that you are their puppet. And the thing that I hate the most out of this fucking post is, I wasn't aware of this person's beliefs. I might make a whole video on this later.
Ooh.
What the fuck does the internet think Asmongold did? Was it the inferior culture comment? The one that he has acknowledged, recognized it was horrible for him to say, and apologized profusely at length, went on break to reassess who he was as a human being because he realized how far gone he'd become. Are we talking about that? What do these people want him to do? He gave the most sincere apology I've ever seen, and guys, that's rare as fuck.
All right. The fact of the matter is, what they wanted to do is just stop making content altogether. They don't want Asmongold to even be a thing. It's like very obvious, at least in my opinion, that there's nothing Asmongold can do right, except like we were just talking about too, have the same exact viewpoints as them. All these sort of people who are like orbiter haters of Asmongold are just mad that he doesn't share the opinion that they have, and that he gets so much like attention and viewers that he does. It goes kind of back to like Hassan too, as we've seen. Hassan is like actually offended and very insecure and angry about the amount of viewers that Asmongold gets on his political commentary and content. And like, for example, when Asmongold did apologize for the comments he made, there were people on Reddit that were looking at his apology, because there was like multiple parts. I think like in the text apology, he mentioned something like, this is paraphrasing now, but he said something like, by the way, don't think this doesn't mean I'm still, he said like, by the way, I'm still going to react and criticize things like DI. Again, that's paraphrased, but he said something basically like that. And so the people that were like posting about his apology were instantly getting mad, saying things like, see, he hasn't really changed at all. In other words, the point is, they will always shift the goalposts simply because, as mentioned, Asmongold is a very popular streamer, creator, however you want to put it, whatever. And again, they don't share the viewpoints that they have, and they're mad that so many people like him. And let me expand on what I was saying earlier. Here's the actual post. My apologies for not getting this correct. You know, this was like 8 months ago, but here's the exact thing that happened. So he made that post on our Asmongold. You could see the screenshots from less than an hour ago, 54 minutes ago. So this person like is instantly orbiting Asmon and then like getting mad at his freaking apology, goes and posts it over on our YouTube drama. And so the post is titled, Asmongold apologized on his channel, then immediately backtracked on his Reddit community. And they highlight this particular area that says, let me just remove myself there so you can see the whole thing. The vibes and feel of the stream recently has been a lot more tense, and a lot of that is my fault. If you think that means my first stream back is going to be playing Dustborn and promoting Sweet Baby, I think you'll be very disappointed. I'm not changing anything other than trying to be more positive and less mean-spirited. So they use that to try and discredit his entire apology, which was related to matters not even related to Sweet Baby Inc. and Dustborn. You know, it was related to what he said about geopolitical situations, really. And they're going to discredit all that because how dare he criticize, like, freaking video games, like terrible games like Dustborn and Sweet Baby Inc., a terrible consultation company. That goes back to what I just said about how these people will always try and find something to get mad at regarding Asmongold because they just don't want him to even be a thing. And look at this. There's a second screenshot that talks about the DI part. So I was actually remembering it pretty correctly after all. Yay. You can see they highlight this area. It says, don't worry, I'll react to a DI equal die gaming video first day back to stream. But yeah, going back to Techie, great video. Once again, linked in the description for the full thing. And I also want to take a look at Asmon's response to him being censored. I already watched it actually, and he's handling it very professionally. He's handling it with class. So let's take a look at what the man himself has to say in this 1.5 minute clip.
Uncensored Baby No Money video. So I heard that they were going to do this. I didn't know what they were going to do.
Context. Baby No Money released his new song today. And if you remember, Asmon was part of his music video shoot last year, but it turns out he was edited out of the final cut.
So
I don't have any, there's no ill will or any sort of like negativity about it. I just think that he doesn't want to be involved with my politics, and it was like from kind of a long time ago. And so yeah, Lambo, I don't know. I think that in most of the cases, people don't want to be heavy involved with like politics one way or another, right? Honestly, I felt bad about this.
So we already know though, like he apparently has no issue being on stream with Hassan.
Whole situation because, like, you know, we recorded the video, everybody came out, and they weren't sure if they were going to use the video or not, because like I would feel bad about wasting his time and everybody else's time if like they feel like it's going to make them look bad or whatever. But like this is why I've moved a lot away from like collabing and doing anything with anybody else, because the amount of like hate that I get, you know, like the amount of people that are like I was like number 8 on YouTube for like the most searched for term. There's a lot of people talking about my content, having opinions about me, etc. It's been so widespread, it puts a lot of pressure on people to have a viewpoint on it. Again, I like Baby No Money. I don't have any ill will towards him. I thought he's a great guy. I've talked to him multiple times.
Well, he clearly has ill will towards you, though. This is a dude who acts like a rat, in my opinion. This is a dude who will do one thing and then stab you in the back to try and use you in a way to attempt to virtue signal people and make himself look good online to a crowd of people that he wants to try and look good to for whatever pathetic reason.
Times. If he doesn't want to promote the kind of content that I do in my videos, that's his professional decision and that's his career. I'm not going to expect people to put their career on the line.
Well, the thing is, it shouldn't be putting his career on the line anyways to simply put out this music video that was recorded years ago or whenever it was, whatever the case may be with that. It's just a music video. It's done. It's not a big deal, but he's making it into a big deal. So yeah, I don't think this dude was worried about his career being like put on the line by featuring Asmongold there. I think he saw an opportunity to be a little snake, be a little rat, stab Asmon in the back to try and get some social media clout over it. Put a little virtue signal out there. Throw Asmon under the bus. Try to appeal to a certain crowd.
And that's his career. I'm not going to expect people to put their career on the line. A lot of people might not see it that way. They might care about it a lot more, but I try to see other people's perspectives, and I try to be honest, and I try to be fair.
Well, look, man, that's a good thing, and I try to be honest and fair too. And in being honest and fair, I just personally can't come to the reasonable assessment that what this dude did here was not something that was underhanded. That was not a snake move. That was not something intentionally negative to Asmongold for the sake of trying to boost himself in some way. It's like a stab in the back, man, the way I see it. And I just find it to be really pathetic. As I mentioned earlier, though, regardless of my opinion, I do think that Asmon has also been handling the situation with class. Moving on from that, onto a broader discussion about virtue signaling. I then saw this tweet from Tectone just like an hour ago. He says, I guarantee you all these fake virtue signalers terminating their gamer subs contracts are only doing so because A, free clout, B, desperate to look like a good person, C, weren't making any sales regardless. Yeah, this is something that happens very often. Someone makes a virtue signal online, acts like they're giving something up that's like a very serious, important thing that they're giving up, but in reality, they aren't really giving up anything at all. We've seen this with a lot of the VA stuff I've been covering. You'll have like some random VA on Blue Sky being like, the strike must continue. It's really difficult for all of us, but it must go on. And it's someone who literally hasn't worked in years and isn't giving up a role at all. Like, oh yeah, really easy for you to say. You're not working anyways. It's not affecting you. Continuing. The woke mob that you pander to will be the first to turn against you at any and all opportunities. Your destruction is inevitable. It shows this person Sarah Spooks. This is someone else. I had no idea who this was. I had to look this person up today. And apparently they're a Twitch streamer. They got like 200,000 followers on Twitter. But over on Twitch, they got like 54K followers. And the last stream having, at the time of recording, 4,700 viewers on a 4.5 hour long stream. But anyways, yeah, says, after a lot of thought and research, I've terminated my contract with GamerSupps. Oh no, what is GamerSupps going to do? Don't want to move forward with companies that are partnered with Ethan Klein. I know it's difficult these days to find brands that don't have problematic entanglements, but it is what it is, said the person with 0 sales anyways, most likely. But hey, you know what? We can actually give her a little bit of credit here, because at least in her virtue signal, she named who she was talking about. She named Ethan Klein. She's got more of a backbone than Baby No Money does. In his virtue signal, he was like terrified to name Asmongold. Oh, individuals. Yeah, guys. So we can at least give Sarah that much credit. Congratulations. But yeah, we'll leave it there. That is the Baby No Money thing. Let me know what you guys think about all that stuff in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one.